Hola. So I'm just going to go check the grain to see if the lion's mane has started to spawn, aka start colonizing the grain. And hopefully it has, and I should be seeing white growth on the grain. And I'm just hoping it's just white growth and not other type of growth, which would indicate contamination. So let's go look at that. Ooh, all right. I'm seeing some growth. All right, let me set this up so I can take it out. There seem to be other growth on it, like on the wood chip. There's condensation in it, so it's hard to see. But maybe I should not include the wood chip. But there's definitely growth. All right. I don't know if you can see that white thing. Yeah. All right, that's good. Just want to spray it down with some ethanol. I don't like the greenish growth on the wood chip. Oh my God. It's hard to see though. But some of the grain has pink things growing on it. And I don't think it should be pink. I think it should all be white. I don't know, can you see that? I think that's contamination. And then the wood chip, it's hard to tell because this bag is crinkly, but then the wood chip has some greenish things growing on it. So yeah, maybe next time I won't put the wood chip in it, but I'm just going to keep it. I won't toss it yet and see what happens. And I am still unable to get all the filter off so that it can breathe. But yeah, that's what it's looking like. There is some growth of the lion's mane. Many days later, I sterilized a new batch of grain and I put it into an autoclavable container. So a container that once it goes into the giant pressure cooker, it won't melt. And this time I decided against using the wood chip because I figured that was what was causing the contamination. So what you see me doing here is using a syringe without a needle to pipette the soup that contains the lion's mane. Select the cells, and that's a yellow liquid that looks yellowish. And what I then do is just release it, aspirate it over the container with the grain, and then that will inoculate it. And I mix the grain up to get it coated, and then I will incubate it and check it daily. So after inoculating the newly prepared grain, I allow the grains with the lion's mane soup or broth culture to grow for 9 days. So this is after 9 days. See those white particles on the grain? That's the lion's mane spawned on the grain. So it has totally grown on the grain. I could have had it grown for much longer to have more white covering the grain, but that is fine. This was my first go at it. And I decided that I would package them out into smaller bags. One reason I did this was to avoid contamination of, say, the whole container if I kept it in the autoclave jar. And so in a microbiology lab, you put your initials, your name, your date, and what's in it. If you have a code, you put a code, whatever it is. And the purpose of doing this was that once I got the other materials to start the fruiting process, I would then just grab one of the bags, put it into the new substrate, and then allow that to fruit. So I was just mixing it with water so it has a little moisture to help with the growth. After several rounds of isolation, I've gotten pure colonies. This is what the lion's mane. I know you can't really see, but this is what it looks like on the agar. I'll get another one once I take the top off so you don't have the condensation. But yeah, pure culture, no contamination, all isolated from an environmental sample that I bought at the Vancouver Mycology Society fall show. So cute. So I go from that, and then I took pieces from this, looks like thread. I put it into broth, so soup. And then this is what it looks like after more than a week, actually, maybe 2 weeks or so of growing in the broth culture. Once that was done, I used a syringe. I had grain. This is just bleach decontaminated because it was growing in this. But I had wheat and pearl millet growing in this. Use a syringe to inoculate, so infect the grains that I sterilized, boiling autoclaving with some of this. Let it go for a few days, and then today I decided to bag them out. So this is what I wanted. Do you see the white mycelium growing on the grain? So yeah, it's hard to see, but is the mycelium from this the white? Okay, that's not the one. It's a white from this that is growing on here. I spritz it with some water to give it some humidity or moisture because the fungus needs that. And then I'll put it into this bin that I have, which will be my humidity device. I'll spray it so it keeps warm and moist, have some holes on it, and then I'll let them sit for a few days, and I'll keep checking on them to see if I get little mycelium growing, or the actual, it's not the mycelium, but the fruiting body of the lion's mane. And then I get to harvest it. Hopefully it goes well. But so far, this is amazing progress. Hello. Before I went on holiday, I had done some inoculation of the grain using the lion's mane that finally grew well. And I put them into an incubation chamber. It's just in a bag, spritz it with water so that it remains moist. So I'm going to go look at it, and hopefully I see more mycelium growing on them. So let's go look at it. It's just this bin that I call the incubation chamber. You can see condensation on the top. So I'm going to open it, look at the bags inside, and maybe spritz them with some more water. Oh, they're a bit dried out, so I'll have to spritz them with some more water. Oh, focus. There we go. But yeah, it's growing well. Oh wow, it's growing so well. I'm so excited. We'll come back and check in on them.
Several days later.
Hola. I have the lion's mane in the bag, so I'm going to go check to see if they're starting to have the little polyps. I don't know, I should really check what conditions the polyps will start growing in, but I think they're still in the powdery white mycelium. They haven't start like give out the little buds. Let's go see. Ooh, do, 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 do. Today is Friday. I like when my Fridays are sunny, but it isn't sunny. But I'm almost at the end of the year. My experiments, I'm wrapping them up. So I'll soon be off. Oh, can't really see. Look at that, so pretty. I am going to make a fruiting chamber to put the lion's mane. So essentially, you can buy them and they can be complex. This is going to be a simple one. I have this white tooth that is broken, right? So I'm going to punch holes all over it, as well as in the lid, right? So that air can pass through it. I don't have any perlite, and perlite are these little white stone things that you find, well, your volcanic gas that you get in your potting soils. I don't have any, and that I would have add water to it, or to say moisturize it, add water to it, or I could use some vermiculite. Don't have any of that either. But what those would do is to maintain moisture and thus humidity in the chamber, because the lion's mane require humidity, and it also needs to be aerated, so air needs to be going through it. So that's why I'm going to punch holes on this, and this is an absorbent material, so I'm going to soak it, and hopefully it helps to maintain the moisture in the chamber. And then I'll put my bags in it and keep misting it periodically, and hopefully they'll start fruiting. Okay, so measure that, cut this first. Kind of fit, not quite. I'm going to mix it with water. Ooh. I'm going to place like a hydrometer, but it has humidity and stuff. So I'm going to place that inside. It helps to tell me how humid, so how much water is in the air. Okay, I could have gone and found a drill, but I can't be bothered. So I'm just going to use, uh-oh. Okay, I was expecting holes, not these cracks. All right, let's try again. Uh-oh. Oh, it's doing more than, oh, holes. Okay, I'm not getting holes, I'm actually cracking it. Yikes. Well, I'm going to put some more cracks in it, and hopefully they're big enough for aeration. Oh my god, my hand is tired. So I'm just misting this with water, and I have to keep misting it to keep it moist. I drill some holes. That's what they look like. I'll probably put some holes in these too, because I'm not going to be in the lab because it's a Christmas holidays. I'm just going to take these home with me. Uh-oh, I have contamination. Ah!